Hi, my name is Maria Five. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Thanks for joining. I have a make and some tea and a book. So, first of all, the tea. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. It is, oh, there we go. Yes, it's lavender mint. It's an organic tea and it's very soothing, a really nice thing to drink in the evening, close to bedtime. I have a very frolicky cat in the background here, if you're wondering what that noise is. She usually leaves me alone while I'm recording, but apparently not today. Anyway, yes, lavender mint tea. It's really gentle. It's a gentle, warming tea. It's really good for bedtime. It's not going to wake you up if you drink it in the morning, so you probably want a little something, some zest, some citrus, some lemon if you're into the herbal teas. Cranberry's a good one. Yeah. Anyway, yes, lavender mint. It's very good. And I've got my lid just to keep it warm so it's not going to cool off too fast. And then for the make, I have not a true make, more just like an add-on, an addition. So regular pair of jeans, and I have, as you can see, turned them into bell bottoms. So just by taking the side seam of a regular pair of jeans and taking it up to where the knee is, where like just below my knee. So obviously I wore them, and then just with a piece of chalk marked past the knee joint, and then just triangles of lace, and you can just see here, it's not even a finished edge, it's just sewn in there. So, but it gives the whole idea of 60s bell bottoms, which is something I saw on Pinterest and went, I wonder if I can do that too. So here we are. A very cool pair of jeans that I do wear, and I get a lot of compliments on. So I have ideas of making another one. I've got some purple lace, some like lavender soft purple lace. And I think I'm going to make another pair of those for the summer, which isn't happening for a while, so I have time. That's also not a bad thing. Anyway, leading into our novel of the week, and this week, it is Sister Stardust by Jane Green. Takes place in the 60s. Could you figure that out? Yeah. Anyway, yes, Sister Stardust. So, I was working at the library, and a patron came in and went, oh, about Jane Green, and I didn't think I had ever heard of her before. And so went back through my book, because I keep a journal where I write down everything I have read, the author, and the date I finished it. So kind of a general idea. And so there was this book, I think it's called The Friends We Keep. I will look that up for you. Yes, I think it's called The Friends We Keep, and by Jane Green. And I was like, oh, I thought that was Maeve Binchy, and it wasn't. So, and I love that book, and it was like haunting. So Sister Stardust, I picked up because it was Jane Green. I thought, oh, I maybe need to read more. So this was published in 2022. There goes my cat. Sorry, distraction, squirrel. Yes, this was published in 2022, and I read it in 2022, and it's been haunting me ever since. I, catch myself thinking about little snippets of the novel and thinking, I think there's something there. So what I figured out eventually is that I really related to Claire, like incredibly related to Claire. There's a lot of drugs in this book. That's one thing. It's the 60s, and there's a lot of drugs, and that is totally not my scene at all. Never has been. But other than that, I really, really related to her. Just this footloose and fancy free and pick up and go somewhere and have an adventure. And that was, definitely me. A little less so now. But yes, at the time in my 20s, absolutely, I was very much like Claire. I really identified with her. And I think that that part of it is what's been haunting me. So I reread it for this, thinking, I don't know that it got that great a rap. I mean, the book was promoted as really Talitha Getty. It's based on a true story. Talitha Getty, who married the son of the richest man in the world, and it was all this ooh, 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 ooh. But at the end of the day, honestly, who cares? It doesn't really have a lot to do, I don't think. Yes, it does shine light on her, and not to belittle that at all. That's not what I mean. But the story really is about Claire, who, we'll get into that later, but reinvents herself as Cece, and it's really her story. And it does have to do with Talitha, but that's not the point of it. The point of it is her going off and having this adventure. So we have all this cast of characters. So there is Claire, reinvented as Cece. We have Robbie, who's her brother. And her brother has a best friend named Benji, who Claire has had a crush on since, grade fourth year, fourth form, something like that, like a long time. Anyway, there is Dottie, who is Claire's best friend. And we have Lizzie, either Minty or Missy. I don't remember now. Jimmy and Talitha. So there's this whole, and Andrew. There's an Andrew in there too. So there's this whole cast of characters. And what a story they tell. So we have Claire. She lives in Dorset, England, and she has an eating disorder. She eats as compensation. She's very unhappy, very miserable, and her stepmother likes to dig and poke fun, going, well, look at you. Look at what you eat. Look at what you're doing to yourself. No man's going to be interested in you, especially, not Benji. Like, what are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, her psyche is, a little damaged, shall we say. That's negative criticism never goes anywhere, right? Except to push people down. So, anyway, she is overweight. She's pudgy. She's very aware of it. And, she's just not. Anyway, her and her stepmother get into it one day, and she's 17 years old. They get into it, and she leaves. She's like, get out now. And Claire packs up a suitcase, takes the train, and leaves, and says, yeah, okay. So she leaves, goes to London, catches a train, goes to London, gets herself set up thanks to a shop person that does her makeup and says, hey, this is what you need to get a job, gets her a job. And so now she's living in London and, not really sure that this is really what she wanted. But she started this yogurt diet. So she goes on this yogurt diet, eats yogurt, loses all this weight, starting to look like a shop girl from London in the 60s. And Dottie comes. Dottie meets her, leaves Dorset as well, and comes, and they become roomies. And that's when everything starts. So they're off to a party, and she meets this guy named John. Well, there's a party of them. But anyway, her and John get together, and he says, Claire, I don't know. Claire doesn't really suit you. How about Cece? Cece wants adventure. She wants fun. She wants this. And Claire is very, dependable and very reliable. And, that's not you. You're a Cece. So that's how the whole thing starts. Okay. Then her brother, Robbie, is having, I believe, his 21st birthday. And so her and Dottie, no, Dottie doesn't come. Dottie's working. She goes back, though, with her suitcase because she just got kicked out of her place, of the house, the rooming house. She's just got kicked out. So she packs up her suitcase going, you know what? We'll figure it out when I get back. I'm going home for the weekend. It's her first trip home where she knows she has to. She's completely reinvented herself. She's hot. She's sexy. She's happening. And she is no longer under anyone's thumb, and goes to Robbie's birthday party that her mother-in-law has decided, is going to put on. And it's really all about her mom and her friends and yada, yada. Anyway, she decides she's going to call her friend John from London, and they show up at her party. And the big band at the time in the novel is the Wide-Eyed Boys. So the Wide-Eyed Boys come, they perform, and it's crazy. And all of a sudden, all the locals come. Everyone's heard that the Wide-Eyed Boys are there. They've given signatures and autographs and played, and now they need to literally get out of Dodge because, it's going crazy. Things are starting to happen. So she shows up her mother, which for her is like her little, her little check or notch or something, going, yes, I'm doing this. And her father have had a little bit of like, it's okay. I get where you're coming from. But he's not going to leave his new wife, of course. So there's that. She's made peace with all that. She's made peace with her brother. And they leave. She's higher than a kite. I don't remember, but on something anyway. Higher than a kite. And this cab, or no, not a cab. I think it's a limo, has pulled up. And everyone's stuff. And they grab Cece and they're like, you're coming with us. And she's really stoned, has no idea what's going on, gets into the car, and off they go. So she ends up in Marrakesh. They're going to Marrakesh, and where they meet Talitha, Getty, and there's a palace, and yeah, we're about a third of the way into the novel at this point, and I'm not going to say any more, because if you are so inclined, read it. It is truly an adventure, and yeah, there's a lot of drugs. There is. I wasn't really part of that whole scene, and so you can kind of draw your own conclusions about that. And I don't know. I think if you can get past it, it's a wonderful read. So give it a shot. Let me know. And yeah, we will see you next Saturday. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.